Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Mobius M. Mobius from Loki. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Alright, I hope you stuck around. I hope someone's here watching this. I mean, if not, it's fun for me to draw either way. But I know it's not the most challenging or crazy of characters. As of right now, I know nothing about this character. But I'm still challenging myself to do something and create a guy in a suit, in so many words. Again, I know that's kind of boring. I know, you know, who wants to draw that? But this is what I say to that. Every now and then, you're going to be called upon to draw something you don't normally draw. I love drawing Star Wars. I love drawing troopers, you know, stuff like that. But every now and then, this is the perfect example. I'm going to get the call to, hey, draw a guy in a suit. And if you're not used to doing that, you're going to stumble. And this is a perfect example of, well, why don't you know how to do that? You've had all your life to practice and do different stuff. Why are you only drawing stormtroopers? I know, it's fun, but it should come something simple and easy, and this is why you practice. Like, I normally don't draw people in suits, but I've had to, and I'm getting used to it because I've branched out. I'm trying different things, you know? So when it comes down to, hey, you know, there's a character on Loki that's it's kind of crazy, kind of cool, don't know where they're going with it, and he's just wearing a suit. Well, comes time to draw something like that. Well, I'm used to it. I'm ready. I've been drawing people in suits and I can do that. So even if you don't like drawing something like this, I get it. You know, it's not a Wookiee. You know, it's not Jindarin or nothing like that, you know. But it's practice. And pretty soon we're going to build up our army of skills. Our arsenal is what it's called. Our arsenal of skills of what can you draw. You name it, I can draw anything. You know, that's the answer you want to end up going with whenever someone says, well, can you draw? And so that's what happened with this. It's like, well, you know, there's a guy in a suit. Can you draw that? You betcha. No problem. You know, and I say no problem, and I'm probably going to mess it up, you know, jinx myself. But what I'm trying to say is, by practicing different things like this, it's going to eventually be no problem, you know? And it was kind of the same thing with Jimmy Woo, you know? It's like, well, normally I don't draw guys in suits, but when it came time to draw Jimmy Woo, boom, there we go. We did it. We were not easy, but sorry, I don't mean to brag. We conquered it, is what I'm trying to say. And so that's why I'm kind of playing with it. Like, well, I'm gonna just put his hand just hanging here. Don't do anything crazy. And just draw a guy in a suit. Easy peasy. Full of cheesy, wheezy breezy, lemon squeezy. Stinky cheesy, willow wheezy. Look, I'm just making stuff up at this point. And I'm going to try to make his hand a little bit more dynamic, do something a little different. bend these fingers. So we'll see how it goes. How's your day going? Oh, but you know what? Let me interject real fast. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you when you're telling me how your day was going. As of now, by the time we watch this, I'll know 100% what this guy does and who he is and if he's awesome and that kind of thing. As of right now, I don't know, because I have to do these ahead of time, and so I haven't seen him in an episode. I've only seen him in the commercials, right? But by the time this comes out, the episodes will be out. And that's what I mean by I don't know yet, but I will by the time we watch this. When we watch this, we'll know whether, ooh, you shouldn't have drawn that guy. He's a bad guy. He steals from children. You know what I mean? Just he's an all-around terrible thing. Don't do it, you know? But as of right now, I don't know. As of right now, well, no, I was going to say you're in the same boat as I am. As of right now, you are in the same boat, but don't realize that we're in the boat yet. I'm already driving us off. It's like, come on, we're in the boat. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Everybody get in, get in, get in, get in. So. There we go. There, I like that. I like that. Quick sketch, just close. Let's just do that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to erase a lot of the sketch lines, because what I was doing was just throwing a bunch of them down, looking for placement, position, and proportions. And as I found that, I started pressing harder. As I got more confident with all that, I would press harder. So when I'm lightly erasing like this, I erase the sketch lines, but the confidence lines stick around. So that's what I'll use to guide us. And that's how you live your life. Get rid of your sketchiness, keep your confidence. That will take us amazing places, and I will be there with you, my friends. Let's go. Let's conquer this world. You can do this. I believe in you. So I say let's welcome everybody that skipped to the next portion and get going. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen. Mostly the fine point, but a pen's a little finer than a fine point. It can find things that a fine point can't quite find. I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased the majority of the sketch lines, but left myself enough to see where we're going to go. And if you want to see more Marvel, check out that playlist right there. Or just check out the playlist in general, because I do so many that I may have already drawn what you're looking for. And I'm just see if I've done it. If not, give me a shout and we'll see what we can do. So I've got them kind of turned like this, just slightly, just ever so slightly. So the eyes are pretty much going to stay in the same position. So there are the lids, like this. Okay, and I'm going to try to get the retinas looking more at you. A little circular like this. Cool, kind of big, but I can live with that. So I'm going to hit the center for the pupil like this. Dab it just a little bit, but it's just so small that I can only put so much detail in. I've got the smaller Sharpie just to make it work, but we'll see. And because of that, I can't draw the underside of the eye. I'm just gonna kind of come in a little bit like this. You can draw that line, I can't. So the line and the bottom of the retina kind of implies the bottom of the eye. Okay, so for his brow, going to kind of come in like this and do that. And he's got a very predominant nose, this actor, but I don't have time to draw perfect likenesses. So for his nose, for this guy's nose, I'm just going to kind of come in here, do one of these, and kind of come up and do that. I want to draw that line. I want to get in there and do it, but I'm afraid if I do, it's going to be a little too, it's going to stand out too much. And I want to do that with color more than I do with a black Sharpie pen. So let's give him a mustache, just a small one, just subtle, something like that. Okay, and because of that, we're only going to see like that much of his mouth, right? But we can't see his lip. Just a little bit like that, okay? So I'm gonna bring in his chin right about here, and I'm just gonna kind of work my way back up. So jaw, I guess I could do this one over here too. Jawline, and up to the cheeks. And I'm thickening my lines up a little bit, just because when I switch over to this Sharpie, there's going to be a huge difference in line width. So I'm just kind of matching where it's going to go. Oh, in his ear, I guess I should tell you what I'm drawing. So you don't have to do it. I'm just explaining to you why I'm doing it. Especially if you're working with pencil, it may stand out a little bit too much. If you add like a thick pencil line, you know, unless you've got a big thick pencil, go for it. All right, I'm gonna draw his forehead, and he's got like a pretty solid hairline, right? So normally I draw lines coming out like that, but I think his is pretty solid. That like, nah, we can draw that edge because his hair is kind of going back. It's kind of short, kind of spiky a little bit on top, right? But then it's all kind of going back. Again, I'm thickening my edges. You don't have to. You do what works better for you. Ooh, that's a little wide out there. Didn't mean to go that far out. We'll bring it back in like this. There we go. That'll work. Okay, gonna bring his neck down. And what an average looking guy. I mean, I gave you a pep talk as to why we're doing this, why we're making such an average looking guy for a drawing. Go back to the drawing section and listen to my pep talk to explain why you should be doing this. But I'm proud of you for doing it. If you're following along, you're in here, you're in with it. You're riding this boat with me. Oops, a little thick there. But see what I'm talking about too? See how thick these lines are? That's what I meant. That's why I want to match where it was going. Got a super thin tie. And because he has a suit, now I'm gonna go ahead and draw his edges here. Just bring it on down. Right? I know, how boring, a suit, right? But again, you should be doing this. There's a reason. It's gonna come in handy one day. Here's his tie. I'll say this too. Good job. Good job in the and I don't mean you, I mean the costume department in what they gave him to wear, because let's go ahead and just draw his belt too so we know where we are. Because it's just a suit and a tie, right? But it's the same kind of issue we're having. It's like, how do you make a suit and tie exciting, right? How do you make it average but exciting? And they did. They did little things like his tie right here, how it's a specific thin tie. His lapels are very specifically pointed thin. They had some fun with the character, even though it was a suit and tie, and I appreciate that. That's really awesome. It sounds boring, right? But again, a lot of people get paid a lot of money to do things like this, and I really appreciate that. I really appreciate the skills that go into costume design that you don't even pay attention to. Well, maybe you do. I know that sounds kind of snooty of me to say that. But like, go back and look at like Queen Amidala's gowns. I mean, come on. Somebody had to create that. You know, that wasn't George Lucas. As everybody likes to pat George Lucas on the back, that wasn't George Lucas. That was the costume department that put all that together. You know, as I'm drawing a suit, that's why I can talk about other stuff, because we're just drawing a suit. You know, nothing too crazy here. But you know, people get paid very good money because of their talent and skills. And I like to try to acknowledge and appreciate that, because again, that's a big skill. It's a hard skill. It's kind of like you're here to draw, right? But you're not a photographer. Neither am I, so I'm not bragging. I'm just trying to say, like, look, I can draw, but I can't take a picture to save my life. I can take a picture, sure. Point, focus, click. All right. Is it going to be a good picture? Is it going to be gallery worthy or worthy of showing people? No. I'll say that right now. I am not a photographer. So sorry, again, I'm just kind of throwing lines out there as I'm talking. Because what I'm trying to say is people have these skills and sometimes it's underappreciated. I don't understand photography, but I do understand when I see someone that knows how to take a picture and makes it look beautiful. It's like they've got a photographic eye. You know what I mean? That's what that's all about. So same thing with costumes. People make this stuff and it's beautiful. All right, so his hand, he's just kind of doing this, you know, nothing crazy. That's the mantra for this character today. Nothing crazy. All right, so yeah, we just see the back of his hand, so we're not really worried too much about a lot of details. I do want it connected. All right, this one we're just kind of doing this. So we are going to get a little dynamic. Like this pinky's going to be in like this. If I were just to show you a hand like this out of the blue, would you know that that pinky is pointed right at you, or would you think it's just a nub, you know? So that's kind of the idea. We want to just get a little dynamic with our hands. Just try something different than what we normally do. So I'm going to bring a sleeve down here. So back to describing what I'm doing. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get on a rant. And then his long sleeve shirt, and then his hand. Okay, so I come out here for the thumb. I gotta speed it up a little bit because it'll bleed if I slow down. But I am just following my sketch, so. Right? Looks a little odd until we add some detail. So see how nubbins that looks? But we're gonna try to. My hands always come out super big. I think I'm just excited to draw. But we're gonna try to wrangle that in real fast. So let's see, it's gonna kind of come down here like this. So see, when we add extra lines in there, we kind of show the crease lines that it's bent, just to give it that feel of a bent hand. So yeah, a little big for hands, but you know, it is what it is. All right, so now we're just drawing pants. Nothing too crazy. So I'm just gonna come down here, draw some bumps maybe for their you know, not perfectly straight all the way down. They can be, but it might look a little odd if we do that. So I'm just gonna kind of bend them a little bit here and there. Okay. This one's coming in from here. So again, nothing too crazy for the pants. I'll add some detail in a second. It's just good practice of, again, drawing a guy in a suit. That simple. And if you got this far, I'm proud of you, because you've done something you normally don't do. And you've added one more weapon to your arsenal. Your skills have now increased. I was talking about this in another one, that there is a good quote that I read. Someone saying that something like no good art is a waste of time, or something like that. That the fact that you always walk away with something, even if you walk away with a fail, you're still walking away with more than what you had when you came into it. You know, there was no drawing before this day, before you did this, and now you've created one. Good for you. You know. But like I said, even if it comes out bad, that's one more step towards working towards something good. And I'm very proud of you. You did something great today. Give yourself a nice reward. I say my reward is going to be that I add the color to this. So that is Mobius M Mobius from Loki. So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures with How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.